Hey YouTube, it's Marida and welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. And in this edition, we're actually going to talk about difficulties that minority nursing students have in nursing school. And yes, this video is specifically for ethnic minorities in nursing school. So if you want to see what tips I have for those, stay tuned. All right, so we are back. My name is Dr. Marida P. I am a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for 16 years. My specialty is OB/GYN, Well Baby Nursery. I'm also a nurse educator, been a nurse educator for 15 years. I am now an associate professor and I have my doctoral degree. So therefore, I'm coming to you with the knowledge, with the expertise of being someone who is very much aware of how we struggle in nursing school and what we can do about it. So first and foremost, let's talk about the difficulties specifically that, I find that minority nursing students have compared to our counterparts. So once we discuss these difficulties, then I want to actually provide you a few tips that you can utilize to help improve yourself, or at least where you can have a resource to go to help you succeed when it comes to your nursing journey. So first one difficulty I want to say is, for one, some of ethnic minorities are not coming from the best high school situations, meaning that we either did not take it seriously in high school when we were there, or we just didn't have the best background in terms of high school. And I will say, I'm going to use me as an example. And let me go ahead and give a disclaimer here. I don't do negativity on this channel. I don't do trolls. I don't do any of that. So, if you want to try to come for me, you just don't want to come for me, because I'm going to come back for you, okay? I don't start nothing, but I will finish it. We don't do that on this channel. So with that being said, I am here to provide tips for people who look like me or a shade of me, who come from humble beginnings just like me, who did not have a silver spoon just like me, and tell you what our struggles are, and then tell you how we can fix it, because I've already been there, done that. Okay, so that's what this is. If you're not here for that, go ahead and find somebody else, because I'm not here. I'm not here for the drama. All right, so again, back to what I was saying about high school. I have to be the first one to admit to you, in high school, I did not go to a great high school. Okay. And because I didn't go to a great high school, I did not have, I would say, the best academic preparation. And it was just one of those things where our guidance counselors were like, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you think you're interested in? And my love was psychology, and it still is psychology. However, no one told me that you got to have like a PhD in order to make any kind of real money. And while I was pursuing the degree, I had kids, so I had no choice but to figure out something else. So I didn't go to a great school. They didn't provide us great guidance in terms of guidance counseling. They just kind of checked boxes for us. I made B's, C's. They didn't tell us about scholarships. They didn't tell us about nothing. They just kind of just like, here you go, type of thing. And with that being said, I didn't take it seriously. So therefore, I was not prepared for college like I should have been. And I am seeing that same trend even today. And again, I graduated from high school in 1996. Okay. So I'm still seeing that same trend today, where people are not taking high school seriously, or better yet, they already coming in with low GPAs, and then they're wanting to go to nursing school. So I'm like, okay, you can't come in with no 1.5 to nursing school. Ain't no program going to take you with a 1.5. So be mindful of that. We need to go ahead and be working on these classes in high school. And if you can't work on these classes in high school, maybe you somehow got a shot to get into college or whatever, and you want to do the best thing, make sure when it comes to nursing school specifically, make sure your science classes is on point. It took me 3 times to pass with a good grade with my A&P class. Don't be like me, okay? Pass that thing the first time. So go in there, learn it, study it, whatever you need to do, because that is a foundation for nursing. And I'm finding that our students do not have that foundation compared to our counterparts. So know your sciences. That's one thing that you need to do. So if you got to take chemistry, if you got to take microbiology, pathophysiology, whatever your school requires, take those classes and prepare yourself, because nursing school is a foundation of that, okay? And they're not going to go back and talk about A&P in nursing school. They're going to take that you already know this material and that you're going to go from there and build up. So already know your sciences and know them well. And if you don't know them well, and I mean know them A, B kind of well, preferably not a C, because you want to be competitive. Remember that. The next thing I want to say is a lot of the students do not know how to write, okay? So if you don't know how to write, then guess what? And this is across the board. This is not just ethnic minorities, but across the board, they don't know how to write. You need to go find your school's writing lab and learn how to do subject-verb agreement, learn how to use correct grammar, how to spell, how to turn in your documents to make sure they look like they are not rough drafts, that they are actually final documents. You would be surprised about how many students who will turn something in that the fonts are different, like they didn't copy it and paste it and they didn't even check it. They didn't proofread it. They have misspellings everywhere. They don't have a period. It's a run-on sentence. They don't have subject-verb agreement. If you don't know what any of that means, guess what? You need to go learn what that means and get that corrected now. Because if you do not get it corrected now, you are going to have difficulties in nursing school. The next thing, so we talked about, make sure those science is up to par, making sure that you know how to write. The next thing is, I want you to examine as minorities specifically, why are you coming? Why are you coming to nursing school? Because the thing is, I can guarantee you, if you come into nursing school because you think that, you know, it's a gateway to make some money, and this is for anybody really, and you're not really here for the right reason, you're not going to do well with this, okay? Because this is a rigorous program. And if you're used to not having that rigor, then they gonna actually humble you in the program. So be mindful of that. And I'm telling you this, I'm telling you this because of the fact that I've seen students come in here who claim they want to be nurses, but they don't want to do the work. So reevaluate why you're really coming, and then be prepared to do the work. Another thing that you're gonna have, a lot of you, everybody doesn't get the chance to go to a HBCU, okay? And I didn't go to a HBCU. I went to a PWI, which is considered to be a predominantly white institution, or a HWCU, historically white college and university, if we want to call it that, because that's what it is. But anyway, so if you went to what I'm gonna call a HWCU versus a HBCU, HWCU again is historically white college and university. It's not really called that. It's really called a PWI, predominantly white institution. That's where I went to school. And so let me tell you about some of the struggles I had while I was in nursing school, that I am having people who DM me about their struggles in nursing school themselves when it comes to going to a PWI, and they are feeling definitely like an outcast when it comes to the program. So my experiences were this. I think 80 of us came in per program, and out of the 80, we probably had maybe 8 ethnic minorities, and that's Black, African-American and African, the two different things. African-American, African, we had, I think someone from Vietnamese. We had someone who was Asian, another Asian descent. And we had, anyway, we had a few people who were not Caucasian, basically. Okay. They were just others. Okay. And it was about 8 of us. And probably about only 4 or 5 of us actually graduated when it came time to. A lot of us fell off. And the reason why we fell off is the reasons why I wanted to do this video. So when it came to a lot of our classes, there were things that I would say my counterparts were privy to that we were not privy to. There would be schedule changes. And I'm like, okay, how did y'all find out that we're not having class in this building? And I didn't know we're not having class in this building. But they would not tell us, sis, they would not tell us that there's been a schedule change, that they have moved the class to another building. And here we are in what we thought was the old place, or the original place. And we were late to class. And of course, us as Black people walking in late, it was that by design or by default? It was by design. They intentionally would try to sabotage us. Okay, this is other classmates. I'm not talking about just the instructors. Other classmates. Now, I had a A1 education. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm specifically speaking of the fact that even though I had a great education, it's because I fought for that education. I made it known I'm going to have the same thing that they got or that they're getting. That's me. My point is, don't expect them to cater to you the same way they cater to your counterparts, because they may or may not do it. Okay. I've heard people say, well, it's better to go to a HBCU because they actually are interested or vested in your education. No, they're not. Okay. No, that's based on the individual person. Just because you go to a HBCU don't mean they're going to be vested in your education. Because I work at one where some of them have not been vested in the students' education. And that's why the NCLEX scores were poor. Okay. So don't y'all can save me with the HBCU stuff when it comes to that. Some HBCUs, you get the education that you get depending on the people who teach you. Period. No matter what institution it's from, it's who is teaching you. Because you're gonna have people who are at PWIs who are like, you know what, I'm here about my students. I don't care what you look like, and they're gonna teach you. You have people at HBCUs who are like, I'm here for my students. I don't care what you look like. I'm gonna teach you. You have that at both places, the same way as you have negativity at both places. So I won't get into that battle. But I do want to say, I don't want you to think because I'm saying I went to a certain institution that that's what led to my, I won't say almost demise when it comes to the program, because it didn't. It's just some things that goes on in our world currently that we know, or not currently, past, present, and future, that's going to lend itself to you feeling like you're the outcast. And I want to tell you how you can get over it to be as prepared as your counterparts, or to fight for what you're supposed to fight for. That's what I'm trying to do. So when it comes to that, just know you need to stay on top of things. You need to okay, don't be afraid to email your instructors. Where's the class at today? Or if something's changed, or you begin to realize that, hey, they be knowing things that I don't be knowing. Find out why they know, and find out who you need to contact to get that corrected. You're gonna find that for my pretty brown skin, and I don't care what kind of brown skin you got, whether it's chocolate, caramel like me, or you cashew complex, whatever it is, any kind of pigmentation that you may have. And I don't mean just black people, I mean ethnic minorities, whether you're Indian, because I've had Indian students who come in with people from India have the exact same issues, because for one, they have an accent. So when they have an accent, you actually have a double what we call it, barrier. You have double barriers because of the fact that, for one, you're a minority, ethnic minority, and you got an accent. Okay, we don't understand what you're saying here in the States. People like you, not like you, that's not how I want to come out. People who have those barriers. So, and you're an immigrant according to the people in the United States. So you're an immigrant, you're a minority, and you have an accent, language barrier. So we don't even know what you're talking about, type of thing. Don't let them people deter you from getting your degree, because that's what they're gonna try to do. They're like, oh, we don't understand you. No, okay, guess what? I have students that I don't understand too. They may have to repeat it 2 or 3 times. I've learned to almost lip read. I've learned to let me listen to what they're saying. And I've learned to lip read a lot, where I can say, okay, did you say this? And just, make it a point for me to learn that accent and learn where they're from and learn about their culture and things like that, why they do the things they do. You're going to find that people don't want to take the time to learn anything about your culture, but they love your culture, but they don't love you. Okay, so that's another issue that you're going to see. So you're going to have that pretty melanated skin, and you're going to find that people don't like you because knowledge is power. And because we know knowledge is power, and we know the more education that you have, the more knowledge you have, the more power you have, is why people don't like you. So therefore, they're going to make sure that you don't get the same education that they get. So they're going to find other ways, since you have to be amongst us, they're going to find other ways to take that away from you by making sure you don't know where class is, or making sure you don't know when the assignment is due, because somehow they done got switched and nobody told you. No one told you that you got an extra day on the assignment because whatever. How do they know and I don't know? Why didn't you all send an email out to the whole group? You're going to find people like that. And I'm not, and I've experienced all this. This is why I know. So when I tell you this, sis and bruh, I want you to know that you need to be an advocate for yourself, because nobody's going to advocate for you at either institution. If you are not here to get the education and learn on your own what you need to know, you will be behind, okay? With that being said, you're going to have a lot of your counterparts who will say that, hey, I'm intimidated by that person. I don't like him or her, but I really don't know why. First, I want you to examine yourself. Is there anything that you could have done or could have said that made them feel like that they wouldn't like you? And if so, you may need to correct some things about yourself. I'm not saying change your personality. I'm not saying change who you are. What I am saying, if you know you are a bit aggressive, if you happen to know that you are not a people person, if you happen to know that you are vulgar and people don't like vulgarity, then yeah, it may be you. But if you feel like, okay, no, I'm the nicest person I know, or people genuinely like me, they don't like you because of the fact that, you know, you may be making very good grades. They don't like you because you have pretty skin. They don't like you because you ask questions that seem to be great questions. They don't like you because when the instructor asks questions, you know the answer. They are very much intimidated by those types of things. So, you know, when they're intimidated by that, what do? You don't be dumbing yourself down to fit in. Nope, go ahead and stand high, answer those questions, get the questions right, you know, do what you need to do. Because you're going to find that you're going to have a hard time with that. And I don't want you all to internalize this as saying, okay, you know what? There's something wrong with me because they don't like me because I what's wrong with me type of thing. You know, I had a viewer, and she's watched, I don't know if she's going to watch this video, but she's watched some of my videos, and we are IG friends. And she had mentioned to me that she's in nursing school, and she said that she's having a difficult time. And this video is for you, if this is you or whoever has the situation, that people, you know, don't like her. And I think she's maybe a representative in her class or something like that. And again, she's a minority. And when I say minority, I mean minority in terms of ethnic minority and minority in terms of number. She's like one of the very few minorities in the program. And they don't like that. They don't like when you come in and know how to govern yourselves and convey that you are educated and things like that. They don't like that. Your instructors, keep in mind, if they can't relate to you, they don't know what it's like to have the Black plight or the minority plight. They don't know the struggles of minorities. They're going to have they're going to be the same way towards you. They're going to be, and I don't mean this in a non-professional way. They're being non-professional, because if they're not professional towards you, your instructors, then you have another issue going on in a way. You need to go ahead and go up the chain and get that taken care of. But I do want you to know that there's going to be underlying discrimination that you're going to have to deal with. And that's at, of course, majority. If it's a PWI, of course, you're going to have it more so there than you would at HBCU. But I'm just saying that you're going to have some underlying discrimination that you will have to deal with. And you all need to kind of figure out, you know, what am I going to put up with, what I'm not going to put up with. But because I actually graduated from a PWI, I want you to know you need to, for one, don't come in there, you know, popping and locking and carrying on and being late to class and popping your gum and being on the phone. No, because they're not going to respect you like that. And neither would I. Because I'm a Black instructor doesn't mean I'm going to respect someone who can't come in and obey the lay of the land, so to speak. So if you're coming in with this attitude that I'm going to do what I want to do, you're not going to get respect from no one. But if you come in and you are genuine about why you are here as a nurse or a nursing student, and you're like, okay, you know, I'm here to learn. I'm here to find out what I can find out. And you go to your instructor for help when you need help. And you ask questions, and you don't have this attitude like the ones I have from some of my programs. You don't have these attitudes, and you like, well, I ain't never seen this. We're not listening to any of that. And don't care what color you are as an instructor. I'm not listening to any of that. You come correct when you come to your instructors. So when you come to your instructors, let me explain to you how you need to email them and how you need to contact them if you want to get a response, a actual helpful response. So for one, I'm often getting emails saying, hey, what's my grade right now? First and foremost, you don't address any instructor as hey. Negative. So if you don't know how to even send emails, you need to work on that. So I send an email back saying, first of all, this is not how you address me. Until you address me correctly, I will not be addressing your issue. And that's the end of my email. Again, I expect to see an email that says something along the lines of, good morning, good afternoon, Dr. Pace Newburn, da-da-da-da-da. I'm wanting to inquire about where I stand in your class regarding grades, da-da-da-da, whatever happens to be. And then you put your information on your name and stuff on there. I have people who send an email, I only know about the email because of the email address, but who is by, I don't know nothing. Learn how to properly talk to your instructors, because that's going to carry you a long way. That's going to carry you to get help. That's going to carry you to, knowing how to interact with people who who may be over you in the real world. It's going to help you learn how to mitigate situations that you feel like, okay, this is unfair, but you can present yourself in a way. Because if you come out here negative, if you come out here like, okay, you know what, I know this, that, and other, and I'm going to go take it to, okay, well, they're not going to work. They're not going to work with you. They're not going to work with you. Because at the end of the day, they can control your grade. And if you show that you're trying and you want help and you want to whatever, they may actually help you. Where if you come negative as if you own something, like you about to do something, no, they're not going to. So know how to send emails. Learn how to be professional. If you know how to be professional, that will carry you a whole lot further than it will be with the negativity. Save that negativity for your friends and that rudeness for the people on the streets. Because in the institution and university level, we don't do that. I don't care what university it is, we don't do that. And if you have a professor who don't play, he or she may get back at you the same way you got at them, and that's not a good look either on both parties, because one of us has to be professional. So know how to do your emails, know how to write, know how to address your professor, know how to address your classmates. So if, let's say, for instance, you're in a situation where the classmates are like, they are blatantly, and I mean blatantly, in your face being disrespectful to you because of, it's no other reason other than what you look like and the fact that you are educated or trying to get educated. Then do this, sis. You need to take note, document everything that's going on. Especially if it's a group project and impacts your grade, because let me say what they will do. You'll have a group project with these people, and what they'll end up doing is not telling you when they done met up, and then come back and say that you didn't participate. Nope, don't be that one, sis. You don't be the one to help set up the dates and times for a bruh. You set up the dates and times for the, or be a part of that, dates and times for these meetings, because they will do stuff like that to you where they will simply say, oh, we already met and we couldn't get in contact with you, type of thing. They will do that to you. So you be the one to set up the Zoom meetings and things like that, or however y'all meet up, or at least be in the know. Make sure you're in the group chat, make sure you're in the emails, make sure you are in the group text, whatever it happens to be, to get those things set up. Don't settle for anything else. Don't think they're gonna call you when they get ready, because they're gonna come back and say you didn't participate, and if you didn't participate, your grade gonna maybe reflect that you didn't participate. Another tip that I have, let's say for instance that you are a situation where you are someone who, how do I say this correctly? Let's say you are someone who I just lost my train of thought. Let's just say, for instance, you are someone who you know your stuff, you have did everything, you went by the book, and you're not getting the help that you need. Keep in mind there's a chain of command. Okay, that's the biggest thing I want to say. There's a chain of command. You have to always go to your instructor first. So if you want to go up the hill, as we call it, or go above and beyond, make sure you start with your instructor first, or whoever the issue is with first. Start with them. It does get resolved, then yes, you move up accordingly. But make sure you follow the proper chain of command, because when you don't do that, it's going to come back and bite you in the end. Okay. Another thing is making sure that you are just as prepared as your counterpart. So are you studying? Are you reading the chapters? Are you doing the work? Are you doing everything that needs to be done to make sure that you're ready for your class? All these difficulties that you are having may not be due to the fact that, you know, if you are not trying, then nobody's going to come and help you try to figure this thing out. You have to be able to say, I'm trying myself. I'm having difficulty. I don't understand this. I'm not understanding how to do this. Who are you reaching out to? I'm having issues with students who do not come to class, okay? And they're like, oh, well, my grandma died for the 5th time. And I know people are dying due to COVID. And if you see this in the future, we had a period of time, it's this COVID season right now. We're in a pandemic and people are dying. But when you come telling me the same person that died 5 times, how many grandmas you got? You know, type of thing. And they can't provide any documentation, no obituaries, no nothing. They don't want to funerals. We're not, you're setting yourself up for that. You're setting yourself up for that. I want to go ahead and tell you too, let me look at, when it comes to, if you're having issues with stress, when it comes to nursing school and you feel like you are being targeted for whatever reason and you're having mental health issues, go to counseling services. Don't be afraid to get some help with mental health. I tell students that all the time. If you're going through something, maybe you are going through some losses with people in your family, make sure you tell that to your instructors. We are so afraid to tell, I wouldn't say tell all your business, but definitely tell people what's going on with you. So when they see you a little bit off, they understand why. because they're going to be more able to work with you if you can say, hey, you know what, I got some things going on in my family right now. Again, I'm not saying tell all your business, but I am saying keep people abreast about what's going on so they can make, I wouldn't say decisions, but have a better understanding as to why you're acting a certain way. And I do recommend going to your university's mental health services or counseling services so that you can have somebody to talk to, or have that support person of a close friend that you can talk to as well when it comes to that. Another thing, other difficulties that we have that hinder us from success in nursing school is the fact that we don't have mentors. And so if anybody's needing a mentor, now mind you, I do charge for that. But if anybody needing a mentor to guide you from beginning to end, I am here to do so. You can DM me or whatever. But or they don't have tutors. So you don't understand the material and you don't understand why you don't understand it. Then again, I tutor as well. So we can do that via Zoom. So no matter where you live, we can do that. But that's not what this video is about. I just want to put that in there if you're looking for one, a mentor or a tutor. They both require payment. It's not free. I am doctorally prepared. So you're paying for my expertise. Otherwise you can find a friend type of thing. So with that being said, you definitely want to get the help that you need. So get you a tutor, get you a mentor. A lot of times as students, disadvantaged students, and this is more so for disadvantaged students versus minority students, but it does kind of fall one and the same because you can be both. Sometimes we have issues with food. A lot of universities have food pantries, and they have food pantries, or if they don't have food pantries at your university that you can go get food from if you're having difficulty, you can go to what's called a soup kitchen or somewhere local around town, usually a church or something like that, that has food boxes or whatever it happens to need to get you by, okay? If you happen to have children and you're needing help, you can go to Department of Human Services or whatever it's called in your city, and Department of Human Services will actually help if you're having issues trying to find the father, because he needs to be paying child support, or she needs to be paying child support if you can't find the mother and you have the child. Well, all those things are struggles when it comes to nursing school. So therefore, you need to go and find out how you can get help with finding that absent parent to help them make sure they pay. That is a process. So I know it's a process, so I'm not saying you go get it done today, but I'm just saying, again, you want to have future money as well, and it is for those children. So that's something to help with those kind of stressors. If you have to work, because if you've watched my videos, you know that I do not recommend you working while you're in nursing school. But if you have to work in nursing school, find you a PRN job as a CNA or something like that, or something that doesn't require a whole lot of hours, where you are working, but at the same time, it has a little more flexibility so you can focus on school, which is your main objective anyway. So definitely do that. So I tell people, become a CNA and see if you go be PRN. So during the school session, while you're in school, you work 1 or 2 shifts per month, or 3 shifts per month, or maybe even 1 a week if that's what it is. But then when on the break, when you're out of school, you can pick it up and work 2 or 3 shifts per week, or however that job allows you to do. So again, be able to have those kind of resources when it comes to the difficulties that you have in nursing school. When it comes to health services specifically, so let's say, for instance, you need birth control, or you have an issue that you need to get taken care of. Maybe you have anxiety. A lot of students have anxiety in nursing school, and so therefore you need medication. If you go to a university, they have health services at the university and they charge it to your account. Yes, you do have to pay it eventually, but at the same time, they do charge it to your account so you can get the services that you need. So if you need a well woman exam, if you need they do an abbreviated well woman exam, so they will do your PAPs and things like that. They will do birth control at those places. They will do your immunization. So if you need immunizations for nursing school, so you need your hepatitis B, you need those types of things for nursing school, you can get those things at health services on campus. If you cannot get those things there, you can go to somewhere like the local health department. Your health department will provide you those shots, usually at a sliding scale rate. So basically, if you make so much money, you pay a percentage based on how much money you make. But sliding scale will help you pay for those things. So you need shots to go to nursing school. So you need your Hep B, you need a TB test, you need your flu shot, you need make sure your MMRs are up to date, those types of things. So these are the things that people are not going to tell you about that you need to have done, even if you are pre-nursing, if you're watching this video, or you need, like, oh, I didn't know that I could go get that done there, type of thing. When it comes to financial aid specifically, you need to be looking for grants, free money that you can get for nursing school. And there's plenty of, look at minority scholarships. Go to a financial aid office, look on the website. It will tell you what minority scholarships are available for either this university or for nursing. Also, what scholarships are out there, grants are out there. And we had something that was called Workforce Essentials, where I got a scholarship, and I'm not sure if they even have that. But look up Workforce Essentials to see if they have anything like that in your city or state. And if they do have Workforce Essentials, what kind of stipend do they allow for nursing students? Because for me, I actually had my nursing school paid for because I had a stipend. And also I got a $50 gas check every 2 weeks just to help me get back and forth to school. And again, they may not have that everywhere, but it's worth looking into. It's called Workforce Essentials, and see if you have that, or look up nursing school assistance. Do that in your Google search. When it comes to other food, I was talking about food pantries, and but also if you qualify, go get on food stamps. There is no shame in your game. You don't know how many people I know was on food stamps, including myself when I was in nursing school, because we had to take care of our kids, and you ain't working, or most of us are not working, or you're not making enough money, so therefore you have to get food stamps. And if you have small kids, maybe you are a candidate for Women's Infant and Children, which is called WIC, and you can get, your cheese, your milk, your eggs, your cereal, your juices, and things like that, peanut butter. And when push come to shove, you can make a meal out some eggs and some different things. You can make some omelets, you can make some sandwiches, you can make all kinds of things. So if you're hungry, you'll figure out a way to make it work for you. So those are some things I wanted to, some issues I want to talk about when it came to students who come from diverse backgrounds having problems in nursing school, because our problems are more so than just about race relations. Even though I kind of spent a lot of time on race relations in this video, our issues, just because of the fact of where we come from, how we grew up, poverty, we just don't have the same resources and advantages that our counterparts have. We always start off behind the 8 ball, but we want the same outcome. And it's very hard to have those same outcomes when you have all those obstacles in the way. So a lot of us get kicked out of our houses, our parents' houses 18, or they're not supportive of us, or because they never had the mentality to better themselves and get an education, then they are downing you for the exact same thing. Be mindful of those types of things. Those types of things can happen. But what I'm saying to you is, if you are serious about being a nurse, I want you to be on the lookout for things, for those things by design that is intended to keep you off the program, keeping you from succeeding. And those are things we talked about earlier when it comes to your faculty or for your peers not helping or not giving you the same information that you're supposed to know that they know. Or it may come from your own inner issues that you have in terms of you're just not prepared for nursing school, or it's not what you thought it was. You're going to have to change your mindset. Because again, I keep telling you all this, education is power. Education is power. Knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more powerful you become, the more fearful they are of you because of what you look like. Believe me, it's not just about the skin tone. It's about the fact that the more we learn, the more that we know, the more we can take over. That's what they're fearful of. So I wanted to have this video out to help you all who, hey, I'm having issues in nursing school. They don't like me. I'm having a hard time personally. I'm having a hard time financially. I don't have enough food to eat for myself or for my child. Can I really finish this program? You don't know how many students drop out the programs because of the very things we're talking about. They're being bullied. They don't have the resources they need. They don't have the money. They don't have the food. They have mental health. They have family issues going on, and they need somebody to talk to. And you may not feel comfortable going to your instructor about everything. So counseling services is what it's there for, and they will help you. So, and if you are going to a 2-year program, or if you're going to a LPN program who does not have counseling services at that institution, they have it somewhere in your state or city for a sliding scale fee where you can get mental health help. And it be either free or close to free if you happen to need it. Do not get help because you feel like, well, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want the stigma. The medications, and I may do another video on anxiety and things like that. But a lot of students have anxiety. I had anxiety in nursing school. I did not get on any meds. I found ways to help with my anxiety, but I definitely had anxiety. So if you want me to do a video on the issues that nursing students in general have, anxiety, depression, things like that, let me know in the comments, and I'll just go ahead and do a video on anxiety, depression while in nursing school, because that is a reality for us and for all of us. That's not a race thing. That's all of us. We have increased anxiety. We have increased depression. Most of us are not working. We have life stressors. We have exams that we have to take. We have 3 exams in the same week, and they're all finals, and they're all comprehensive. They're all this, that, and the other. It is a lot. Nursing school is one of the hardest things that you will ever go through. So anyway, hopefully this video has been insightful for you all. You all are aware, and that you know that you need help. And if you have any other comments or concerns regarding why are they doing this to me, list those in the comments below. Why are they doing this to me? Why are they making me feel this way? Give me your scenarios, and I will do another video on that and talk about what you should do in those scenarios. I was just kind of giving you a general, they don't like me because of this, or they're mistreating me because of that, or they won't even talk to me, or every time it's time for a group project, I'm never selected for the group type of thing. Believe me, that's by design, and it's not really you. It's really more reflective of them, which is what it is. But it does make it hard when you're trying to get through a program like this. So if you have those scenarios, definitely put them in below, and I will do a whole video on what you should do in those situations. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video. Let's go ahead and trick that algorithm to get these videos up there, because the content, in my opinion, and I am biased because I create the content, but it is noteworthy. It's information that I think that a lot of people can benefit from. So we just need the YouTube world to know that, and that's pretty much it on that. But what I do want you to do is follow me on IG, and my handle will be somewhere on the screen. So follow me here on IG, go over there, or follow me over there on IG, and you can see what's behind the scenes, what Dr. Marida P does behind the scenes, and what she is doing, what she's not doing. I actually, because I'm not in bedside anymore, I'm actually in the classroom. I spend more time talking about classroom issues. And honestly, that's where a lot of my ideas come from for these videos, is the classroom, because I'm seeing how these students are struggling. I'm seeing their poor attitudes. I'm seeing that they think because I'm Black that I'm going to give them a pass, and I'm not. I am not, because at the end of the day, you're not going to sit there and say that unless you get away with doing stuff and therefore you are a poor nurse. Anything that comes from me is going to be destined for greatness. So just like my children, if you come from me, you're going to be destined for greatness, because I set you up for that. That's what this channel is about. It's about setting you up for greatness. So when you look back and be like, okay, you know what? I didn't even know Dr. Marida P personally. However, watching her videos is what helped get me through nursing school, or helped me change my mindset even. Change your mindset. Some of it is just your mindset. Just think right. If we can change our mindset, then we would be ready for the world, and we can conquer the world. Change your mindset, sis, bruh. You got this. So until the next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.